Alright guys, welcome back to the Shlog. It's Morgan, there's Angry Zach. This is the last Shlog you'll have to deal with only the two of us. Next week, Zach's wife, Leandra, will be joining us, finally bringing a little bit of class to the shop. We're hoping that maybe she can level us up a little bit. Also, I expect her to yell at Zach a lot. Bringing that from home. Anyway, if you're new to this channel, this is our weekly vlog where we talk about dirt bikes and all kinds of cool stuff. We show you tech tips, how to do stuff. We make fun of Zach. We do all kinds of things. Anyway, if that's interesting to you, stick around and here we go. Alright guys, first on my list is this 2018 250 EXCF that is super duper clean. Look at this thing. Looks like it's got very few miles on it. And that is why it's weird that it does this. Well, now it's doing nothing. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Keys on now. Hang on. It does start, I think. But it only starts for a little bit. Oh, now it's not even doing that. Let's see. There we go. But, and then that. And there we go. So this customer has had at least one other shop work on this. They've replaced everything in the fuel system because I think obviously it sat for a long time. It hasn't been ridden that much, being this clean and being an 18. And so they went through the fuel system and all that, and it's still doing this. So I have a theory on what I think it might be. Comment below if you have an idea what you think it could be. But we're going to start by taking the air box cover off and just spraying some brake clean into it to make sure it's not just a fuel problem, because if we can keep it running with brake cleaner, then we know it's a gas problem. If it dies anyway, then it's something else. So hang on, let me grab some brake clean. Alright guys, so that's interesting. I was expecting that to not do anything because that's what he told me, is that all this stuff was new, and I just, I believe him because that's what they told me. But that's being really weird. So, I don't know. I know the pump is working. You can turn that off and on. You can hear it make that noise. But it's definitely doing weird things. I guess now we're just going to go through and check the fuel system, because it seems like it kind of settles down. Pop the inline filter out here real fast. That thing is super clean. Alright guys, so I just called this gentleman and talked to him again and figured out that actually I think I misunderstood him. Nothing in the fuel system has been replaced. They replaced the fuel pump relay, and they cleaned the system. There's two other shops actually who did this. So I don't think they did well, he didn't pay to have anything replaced. So I have a feeling, being in 2018, the thing is so clean, it's got so little miles on it. I bet you anything, the filter is probably gummed up and whatever, and then also the pump could be failing from that. So someone did take the injector apart and clean it, so I'm not too worried about that. But I bet you anything, this pump isn't making enough pressure for at least one reason. So I'm going to set you guys down over here. I'm going to take the seat and tank off, and then we'll dig into the tank and take a look at that pump. Alright guys, got the tank off, and I can tell by looking in there, I'm pretty sure that the fuel filter is no good. Well, it's there, but I think it's pretty clogged up. So anyway, let's take this thing apart and I'll show you what I'm looking at.
Looking things up, a lot of people say it's underwhelming, but
It kind of is.
don't have your hopes super high.
Alright guys, that is the filter that I believe is causing our problem. You can see it's very dark. It's going to be darker than like stock no matter what, but that's too dark. So I'm going to go ahead and clip these two bands off, because I have the tool to reinstall those, and see if I can blow through it, see if it seems like it's clogged up, and hopefully I can find one of these quickly and we can get this thing rolling. Oh, is it 1156 maybe? That sucks. That thing is definitely clogged. So I'm gonna get one of these things. Hopefully I can find one either here or at the dealership that's close and get this thing going. But that is definitely the problem. It's so broken. All right, Shlog guys, look at this. It's broken. All right, guys. I don't know if you can. Let me see if I can grab this. If you watch. That cannot be fixed by a shock service. Just so you know. Whew, that's a good one. I don't know if we're even going to take it apart. I talked to the customer. He may just can the whole thing. The bike needs a ton of love. Alright guys, so I was able to find this filter, which I just did a bunch of research, and it looks like this plastic is super good to hold up to any ethanol, anything like that. So I'm going to try it because this is not that hard to do. I think it will fit maybe through the tank. Ooh, could be another stumbling block. Dang it. Maybe not. Even though this is relatively small, don't think she's going to do it. Alright, so we gotta find a skinnier filter. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. We will hunt one down and we'll try to make this thing work for this guy. Like I said, unfortunately the dealer does not have the right kit from KTM. I ordered it. If we have to wait, we will, but I'm gonna try really hard to get something to work. Alright guys, so sadly I could not find a filter that's gonna work here in town. That's okay. I ordered the KTM one. It'll be here next week. So stick around for next week's Shlog. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we will be testing and making sure that that actually works and this fixes the thing. But I'm sure that's what it's going to be because that fuel filter does not flow well at all. You can see Mr. Chris Nelson. I'm sure you're going to be psyched to see that on the lift. There's a Husqvarna 390 we're making street legal. Zach is making street legal. Just putting the brake light switch on it and all the good stuff, so we can get that inspected for the guy. He'll be stoked. Next coming up is a service actually on TX, excuse me, not a TX, an FX 450 that the guy's made into a woods bike. Yeah, just servicing that, putting a tire on it. Guys, this Shlog is not going to be terribly long and in depth because we're only here 2 days this week before we head to Nemo. So it's not going to be super exciting, but I hope you guys join us for the rest of it. I do have some awesome mail time coming today. So as soon as that happens, I'll check back in. But I'm going to clean up my mess here and get that FX up here, and I'll definitely check in as we do that. On today's edition of What Does the Air Filter Look Like? Not bad, actually. That's probably seriously just one ride. The air box looks perfect, so that's rad. Good job, Glenn. All right, so air filter's drying, and that's just a quick tech tip from guys who do this all day, every day. When you're working on a bike, if you know you're going to be doing the air filter, do it first. Take it out, do it first. Obviously, you need to be a little bit careful to not get stuff into the air box when you do that. You can always take a rag, put it in there. But if you clean that thing first, you can let it dry, and it can be nice and dry before you put it back in. You don't have to try to dry it out or whatever. So, like I said, quick tech tip. Now we're putting on a tire. Right now he's got the Cheater 525 from Shinko, which I think he liked okay. But this bike has become his mainly just Adobe desert bike, and he's got a 350 that he rides more in the rocks. So we're putting an X30 on for this. I've had a bunch of questions recently asking me what my favorite rear tire is. Probably all around favorite rear tire of all time is the X30. Let me talk to you guys though real quick, since this is a shorter Shlog. I want to show you guys and talk to you a little bit about the IRC VE33s. So there she is. I put this tire on my bike to try it out because I'd heard lots of people say really great things about it. So I put it on my 300. I rode it one night, Thursday night, cutting trees. We did like 11 miles, so of slow, anyway, we were cutting trees. And then I loaned it to the guys from Massachusetts for 2 days. Rode the Plateau one day, Peach Valley the next day, probably total of 130 miles worth of riding-ish, somewhere in there, maybe 140. And then I got it back. I rode it one more time on the Plateau, probably 20 miles, 30, no, excuse me, it's 50 miles. So maybe 220 miles on the tire total, and not really hard riding. The guys from Massachusetts, they beat on it pretty good. But I want to show you what this thing looks like. Brady Metter. Bradysius. Okay. Bye. So he's gonna call me right back. He got another call. Anyway, so take a look at this tire. I took it off because it's starting to do this already, and like that is not gonna last. I would have ridden it for another ride or two, but we're going to South Dakota next week. Gonna be riding hard for 3 days, and I didn't want to deal with it. And you can see that knob already off. That knob's gone. That knob's going. This knob. There we go. There's that knob. That thing. So for me, that's not gonna work. I can't do that. I like to run tires for a lot longer than that, and yeah, I just wasn't happy with that at all. So I took it off. I'm just, the grip was okay on it. It wasn't just phenomenal. IRC makes the Dakota IX09W that actually has a ton of grip. It also wears out really fast, but it's like sticks to glass. It's so freaking sticky. This one was just like okay grip, and then also it was really weird on roads. Like it felt really rolly and weird. So I'm just not a fan. It's 88 bucks, which isn't bad for a gummy tire, but you know, I know other people have had better luck. That's awesome. I hope, you know, if you do and you like it, that's great. Like this is not like telling you not to run this tire. Just for me, the way it worked for me, I wasn't happy with it. So anyway, I'm gonna go grab that X30, put it on this bike. Let me show you something. That's too much effort for this. That should not be that hard. This is going to be a great Shlog, actually. We're going to talk about very remedial things today. So that is way too hard for that axle to come out. I don't care how long you run the tire. That shouldn't be that bad. So yeah, let's go ahead and beat that thing out of there and we'll take a look at it. So, as always, we're going to inspect the wheel bearings. They seem to be moving okay. But the spacer on the inside is kind of moving around, so I don't know if maybe they're moved a little bit, but these are Warp 9 wheels, so they're not OEM, because he put an 18 on this thing. It came... Well, this is actually, I said it was an FX. This is actually an FC originally. Yeah, this is an FC, so he put an 18 on it, which is awesome. But, yeah, I don't know if maybe it's not quite fitting right in there or whatever, because there is grease on it. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly why it was so hard at first. But it could be that, you know, it's an aftermarket rim. It's just not quite exactly the same size or whatever, but let me show you what we do with these and make sure that everything moves real smoothly when you put it back together. Gonna make Zach famous. So guys, I like to get in here, really clean this thing up, and with this red Scotch-Brite, you can get any kind of rust or any of that stuff off of it. Make it nice and smooth. And there we go. You want a reputation. Now, to get those mineral spirits off, a little bit of brake clean. There we go. Now that thing is good. While you're at it, clean up the threads because these get gnarly. And if you let them get too gnarly, the nut won't go on very good and you can end up messing it up. So I just like to make sure they're nice and clean. There we go. Axle's almost like new. Now I'm going to change the tire. Alright, so now we're going to prep our axle nice and clean, nice and dry. Take a little bit of this Motor X grease or any good waterproof grease. And you don't have to put it way down here, like get crazy down here, because it's going to push that down as you roll it in. Get a little bit down there, but you don't have to go nuts. Like that is how it's supposed to go in. Got to wiggle it and move it and make sure it goes through the holes, but it should just slide in like that. All right, guys, mail time is now. I'm really excited about this. Mainly because I love my van, my new van, and my old van, but I love vans, but the way I have it set up, I can only hold 3 bikes. That's fine if it's just me and the boys. And if Ruth is going to go watch us race or whatever. But now that my wife is back into riding, or at least thinking about being into riding, I need to be able to carry 4 bikes. And I am really excited to announce that I borrowed that from my buddy Foxy Bibbs. And I liked it so much that I went ahead and bought my own. So really excited about that, guys. It's also going to allow me to take an extra bike to South Dakota. But yeah, I'll show you how it works. If you guys haven't ever seen one, some of you guys on Facebook and Instagram are like, oh, I've never seen a carrier like that. So these things are the coolest. And by the way, I paid full retail for the thing, like no deals on that. So this is not sponsored by them or anything. I made the decision to buy it. But yeah, they're really cool. So I'm going to finish up that Husqvarna real fast, and then I'll start putting that thing together. All right, guys. Got the hauler all put together. Let me show you how this thing works. It's super, super cool. I'm gonna slide it in here. It comes with a special bolt and things you can really like super solid mount it so it doesn't wiggle around. But with having other bikes in here and having to take things in and out, I gotta be able to get this thing off. So I don't use that. I just use a normal pin. Alright, so we got her mounted up. Now we're going to take our safety rig out of here. And this thing just locks it so it can't accidentally come down. It's not putting any pressure on the bottle jack. So, take our handy dandy thing, open that up, and we just, there we go. Now she's down. One of the coolest things about these is that you don't have to hoist the bike way up in the air. So get it over there like that. And jack it up so it comes out a little bit. You gotta move it a little bit. It's not hard, obviously, with the 100. Just comes up underneath, and then take your J-hooks, put them down in, run the wing nuts up on them, and just make sure you get these things nice and tight. Super simple. Just come over here. There we go. Run safety in. That guy goes right there. And you can just like that to hold that. And the cool thing is, now the thing is way up off the ground. It's tucked in tighter to the vehicle than like a normal tray, and then it's got this loop here. I'm gonna grab a strap so we can turn this and tie it down so it doesn't flop around in the wind. There we go. Right on, guys. That thing's awesome. I don't sell them. Go to Rocky Mountain ATV and buy one if you want one. They are awesome. Really super happy with that. Anyway, guys, into the Shlog. I know it was short. It's kind of different than normal because it's such a short week. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and maybe hit that little notification bell. Turn that thing on so you know when we do new videos. And just know that we're heading to South Dakota. We're going to be shooting a ton of content up there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I love you guys. I hope you get out to spread the gospel with two wheels. And I desperately hope that what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to work on and get out and ride your dirt bikes.